And now, the evolution of the internet versus Cade Cunningham. To start, let's look at the Jalen Green-Cade Cunningham Summer League matchup.
I think Jalen is more a team player than Cade this game. Accept the fact, Detroit fans, that your Cade don't deserve a number one spot because Jalen Green is a clear-cut the best player on this draft class.
Cade will be bust.
Who told the Pistons to draft Cade? Cade is a bust. Cade busting him.
Next, let's look at what some of our brilliant analysts on the internet had to say after Cade Cunningham played one game in the NBA.
Let us know when Cade gets his second bucket. I don't follow college or prospects, so I just know the consensus. But after seeing most of the rookies up close now, it's puzzling that Mobley didn't go first. It's like totally okay to draft bigs like him. He's no Wiseman. Cade will be fine. It maybe even work out better for the team down the line, a la Ayton over Doncic. But man, the draft is such a crapshoot.
We should have got Jalen Green.
Bust! Jalen Green would never.
Michael Carter-Williams 2.0.
And finally, our analysts came together after Cade Cunningham versus Jalen Green's first real NBA game. Let's watch.
Cade had better defense, passing, and better shooting percent than Jalen, and Cade got the W.
Cade shot is beautiful.
I think Green is a bust.
I've been trying to figure out what exactly to say about these comments because listen, man, I've been watching from afar for quite a few months now, and it's really just the fact that if this proves anything, it's that the internet basketball community is full of a lot of casuals. What is going on? I want to welcome you from half court. I am back. Sorry for being gone. And in today's video, in my return, we are going to be talking about Cade Cunningham, specifically how really good he's been looking, which, by the way, 2 weeks ago, I said would be the case. We're going to go over his recent performance and look at why people are exactly counting him out. We're going to look at what exactly has changed, and we're going to look at what is a realistic ceiling for Cade Cunningham going forward. Before we get into today's video, be sure to hit that subscribe button. It really helps out the channel and also lets you know when we're uploading new content here from Half Court. And with that, let's get right into it. Cade Cunningham made his debut at the end of October after missing the first month of the NBA season due to a turned ankle during training camp. He missed his first ever NBA training camp, he missed the preseason, and he came in to the first game against Orlando not playing regular NBA basketball since the Summer League, which is, by the way, no actual way to judge how players are compared to others. In this debut, the primary focus was Cade's shooting performance, where he shot a whopping 1 of 8 from the field and missed all of his three-point attempts. Now, people wanted to avoid his 7 rebounds, his 2 assists, his defensive playmaking, his overall attitude and everything that he brought to the court, and the fact that that was Detroit's first win. But God forbid we talk about anything like that, because Cade don't shoot good. We gotta talk about it. Now, don't get me wrong, there's genuine reasons to actually look at his debut and say that it wasn't a great debut because of the fact that it was the second worst field goal percentage by a number 1 pick in the history of the NBA, number 1 being Anthony Bennett, which if you're in the same class as Anthony Bennett in anything, that generally is not a great sign. However, this is just looking at one game. And on top of that, this is Cade Cunningham coming off of injury, his first ever NBA action, and it was against the Orlando Magic, so who really cares? It's one game. Plus, a big difference between Cade Cunningham and Anthony Bennett. People actually thought Cade Cunningham could do something in the NBA. But it was when Cade Cunningham played against the likes of the Philadelphia 76ers and the Brooklyn Nets that people started to look a little more optimistically at Cade Cunningham's performances. And now that we are 10 games into Cade Cunningham's rookie season, we can finally start to actually have a conversation about Cade Cunningham as an NBA player. Some things to note about Cade Cunningham's first 10 games in the NBA, first of all, is that Detroit went 4-6 in this span, meaning that they immediately started to play way better when Cade Cunningham entered the lineup, and the team is now 4-11 rather than 0-4. It's not a secret to anyone that watches this team that they are clearly better in the lineup when Cade Cunningham is on the basketball court, and it's obvious that he really adds to the Pistons in a lot of ways that both show up on the stat sheet and in a lot of ways that don't as well. You really can't quantify leadership, you really can't quantify coachability, you really can't quantify a winning attitude. Now, if you're actually going to look at his first 10 games solely from a statistical perspective, we can do that if you'd like. However, I really don't think that that tells the whole story. But let's go ahead and look at that story, just for those of you out there that really want to. Cade Cunningham in his first 10 games is averaging 14 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists on 35% shooting from the field and 27% from the three. Now, obviously, Cade Cunningham has to get better, but guess who else does? Every rookie in the league. I mean, what if I were to tell you that Jalen Green's first 16 games is seeing him averaging 14 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists, 37% from the field, and 28% from 3. Wait, hold up. Am I still reading Cade's stats or am I reading Jalen's? Because they're almost the exact same. And by the way, one thing that Cade Cunningham is doing that Jalen Green isn't is winning basketball games, as Cade Cunningham in his 10 games has already won 4, whereas Jalen Green and the Rockets are currently at 1-15. Yikes. Another thing to note is that a lot of Cade Cunningham's shooting woes are really showing from his first few games where he really did not shoot well from the court. However, in his last 5, he has gotten significantly better. He has had multiple nights where he's shot 40 to 50% from the three-point line, and a lot of areas where he's just added to the game in a lot of different places. I think that's really been important to note too is just how good of a clutch player Cade Cunningham is, because oh my goodness, that man has ice in his veins. He's already made multiple last-second shots that have put the Pistons in situations to win basketball games, and he's shown just a lack of fear when it comes to trying to make a play in the fourth quarter, which is simply something not every player has. Even not all the great players in this league have that ability. Another thing that we've seen happen over the last few games for Cade Cunningham is that his assist numbers have gone way up, which is not as a result to Cade Cunningham passing the ball better. It's really just because of the fact that guys are starting to actually hit some damn shots. The Detroit Pistons have been shooting absolutely terribly from the field, and they also started the season with a really rough schedule, but now that their schedule is actually getting a little smoother, now that Cade Cunningham is having some more time in the lineup, now that these guys are getting used to playing together, we're actually seeing some better basketball being played, and we're seeing Detroit actually getting some W's on the column. Now, maybe one thing that we can point at and look at his game and say that he's definitely going to have to improve is that there have been some nights where the turnovers have been heavy, but also he is a point guard that is getting a lot of responsibility with the ball in his hands on a very young team that is still one of the worst teams in the league. So obviously turnovers are going to be an issue for a young guy coming into the league, and so that's why I'm really not concerned with Cade. If you really look at his overall game, I mean, there's a lot to be excited about. Cade galvanizes the troops. He really contributes in a lot of different areas on the court. He's able to play a lot of different positions and a lot of different roles. You'll see him one possession going down the court and really being that ball dominant point guard that we need him to be, setting other teammates up for success. But then you can really use him as a Chris Middleton type player, throw him in the corner and be a sharp shooting small forward that can also be out there to give you some length and defense. I mean, this guy is really just a Swiss Army knife. And now, with the sidelining of Evan Mobley, there's a real discussion that Cade Cunningham actually could win Rookie of the Year. I mean, let's be honest, if Cade Cunningham keeps going at this clip and they actually start winning some basketball games and they rise up the Eastern standings a little bit, and if he just shows why he's the number 1 pick, there's a lot in his favor for being the Rookie of the Year, especially with the kind of game that he plays. As far as like which rookie has been the best, which rookie has been the worst, I'm really not interested in having that kind of discussion because, listen, these guys are all in completely different situations, being expected to carry franchises and to be the ultimate cornerstone piece of a team's future. We're not going to look at the first 10 games of the NBA season, or the first 16 games for that matter, and say, okay, yep, clearly this guy's better. I mean, obviously, if we're going to do that, Evan Mobley's been absolutely outstanding. He's an absolute unicorn. The guy's an absolute beast. But also, you can look at Cade Cunningham and you can make reasons why he should have been the number 1 pick. You can look at Jalen Green and you could still make a case as to why he should have been the number 1 pick. That is the beautiful thing about this draft class, is that there are a lot of guys that are just great. And that's okay. If there's any point that I really want to get across in this video, it's that we shouldn't be making judgments about these players at this point of the season, or really until later in the season in general, just because of the fact that there is so much that happens in the beginning of a season for a rookie player and a lot that they have to overcome. And Cade Cunningham has been a case of that. So maybe, internet, let's shut the up for a little bit. What do you think of this current draft class? Do you think Cade Cunningham should have been the number 1 pick? And what have you thought of his performance so far? I would love to know your thoughts in the comment section down below. That is going to do it. We are definitely going to be uploading content much more consistently on this channel moving forward, and I will catch you next time from Half Court. Be sure to subscribe.